Now, for those of you that were watching earlier, you guys had the opportunity to kind of see where we're taking some of our top performing agents. Now, because we work with agents all across the United States, we want to offer an opportunity that just feels really, just feels really good. It's high level, something that maybe your brokerage isn't offering. Okay. Now, because we're buying multiple properties from these agents, we want to show you that, hey, not only should your brokerage reward you, but we want to reward you as well. And so what you might see in the background is that's Tiger Woods right there, very young Tiger Woods. And back when his back was solid, I can tell you right now, I feel his pain. And my friend over there, Gary, feels this pain as well. So, am I right? Uh-huh. So, we're going to be inviting our top performing agents, which includes our office, right? This is not just for agents out there, but give me an example. If you close, let's say, 2, 3, or 4 deals, and somebody else closed 2, 3, or 4 deals, whatever the max is this month, and next month, and the month after that. If it's 2 people that did 2 deals, well, they're both coming. If it's 4 people that 4 deals, well, all of those guys are coming. So those of you who have been in Newport Beach understand the now this is Augusta, I think, but what we have is Pelican Hill Golf Club. Now, am I a member of this? Absolutely not. I hope to one day. It's a beautiful place, but when you pull up to this place, it's all Rolls Royce and Lamborghinis and everything like that. I own a Chevy Tahoe, so not there. Would love to have a membership there one day, but for you guys, I want you guys to have a membership to the Pelican Hill Golf Club before I do. Okay, and it's absolutely feasible, and I'm going to show you on the whiteboard how this can be achieved. Okay. So before that, just a little bit of background on Belwood. So we are what you call an iBuyer, institutional buyer. With the amount of homes that we buy and the amount of transactions we complete, we're on an institutional level, right? We're also a fundraising platform of our peers. So what Belwood does is we identify a property typically brought to us by an agent like yourself. And what happens is that property is vetted, and then you're able to represent Belwood as the buyer's agent. We flip that home or remodel it. We give it back to you to sell it. So there's 2 commissions for every 1 home. Sometimes that home doesn't sell. People say, well, what happens if that home doesn't sell? Well, we have systems implemented to provide you with commissions even if we don't sell that home. So we're continually working on these systems, making it a win-win for our realtors that we work with. Now, again, you don't need to change your brokerage. You can stay exactly where you are and participate in this. Belwood works with every brokerage across the nation. Now, the areas of target that we have are really focused in California. And why? Well, because California has some of the best real estate in the world. Now, there's other beautiful places, Florida, New York. I mean, all along the East Coast, there's amazing places. But in California, guys, as California goes, so does the rest of the world in real estate. Really, it really starts here. So we have Beverly Hills that we target. We target the flats of Beverly Hills. We target West Hollywood. We target Holmby Hills. And the reason why we target these areas is they're not as heavily impacted when it comes to a recession or a downturn in the market, right? These homes are elite. Typically, these homes aren't financed at all. So people are paying cash for these homes. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not impacted by the market and the change in the market, but it doesn't impact it as much, okay? There is a decrease, but we do like to offer the opportunity for you to represent Belwood in Beverly Hills. There's no reason why you as an agent in Sacramento or Santa Rosa or San Jose, there's no reason why you can't represent Belwood in Beverly Hills. Now, the reason why I like to say Beverly Hills is because we're already buying homes there. Last home we purchased was for $7.3 million. Now, if you're in Sacramento, there's not too many homes that are being sold for $7.3 million. So that's a pretty heavy ticket for this area. It's a pretty heavy ticket anywhere. But I'm going to tell you right now, you don't have to be on selling Sunset to represent Belwood on a property like that. You can absolutely, again, stay with your brokerage, or we do have a brokerage that we're associated with. My wife actually runs it, and it's called Ownable Homes. She's the broker. And what's unique about Ownable is basically they know Belwood in and out. Now, there's no ownership inclusion with Belwood and them, but it does, when you're an agent with Ownable, you have access to all of Belwood's tools and underwriting, so you get answers really, really quick, and you just really get catered to. But that's not everybody's story, okay? If you're with Sotheby's, if you're with, Century 21, Lion, wherever you're at, we want you to stay there and enjoy all the services that your brokerage offers, because that's what you're paying your commission splits for, right? Your 20%, 30%, God forbid anything higher than that. And if you are paying anything higher than that, then you really, really should be getting a tremendous amount of services. And we wouldn't want to pull you from all those lovely services. So stay where you're at, enjoy Belwood and all we have to offer. What I like to tell folks is, when you're finding a traditional buyer or seller, let's say you're working with a buyer and they say, you know what, Joe, I want to find the perfect home for my wife and I to buy and to retire and da 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 da. Or it could be, Jessica or whoever the realtor is. Okay. Now, I'm not a realtor, so I don't really work with, traditional buyers and sellers, and there's a reason. Now, if you were to, let's say, find these folks their forever home, well, that's your forever commission check, right? They're not going to say, okay, find us another forever home. Oh, and that forever home was great. We're just going to need another one, right? You are literally finding your last commission check for this client. Now, is it fun? Do you get to walk into some homes with some oatmeal smelling cookies and all that fun stuff? Maybe a couple bottles of water, got your little foodies on, got your podcast set up. I mean, really, that's all good, but you're working for one commission, right? That home owner who just sold their home isn't going to say, okay, great, well, I have another one for you to sell and another one. You might get lucky and find a onesie, twosie, a homeowner that wants you to do a couple different transactions. But at the end of the day, Belwood is something that you can establish a system on, right? You can say, well, I know Belwood's going to continue to buy these types of homes. So now I can stop sending mailers to people in beautiful neighborhoods trying to get them to sell their home that they just moved into, spending a tremendous amount of money on marketing dollars. I can take those marketing dollars and I can focus it on homes that really need to be sold, right? You can send somebody down a few streets and just write down addresses and now start sending mailers to those people. Maybe go knock on the door, right? Those people need to sell your home. There's always a need, okay, in some of these homes where people are letting them go to the side, right? You'll see overgrown foliage in the front. You'll see the roof is in really bad condition. These are people, these are leads, guys, okay? When you're looking at a beautiful neighborhood, you can't decipher which one really needs your help. Right? They all look the same. They're all new homes. They probably just moved in there. You don't know a crisis is there that really needs your attention. You have a fiduciary duty to represent and help people, right? This is to, as if you were, they were in front of you, right? They're not, it's their needs beyond yours, right? Well, there's these people in these neighborhoods with these houses that are tore back that need your services. Yet we ignore them and we focus on traditional real estate. Why? Why would you focus on one paycheck when you can get a minimum of two with Belwood? Stop looking at the beautiful homes that you can't tell if they're in need and look at the ones that have the clear signals that are saying, we need some help here. This hole in the roof isn't going to fix itself. And what happens with a hole in the roof in the winter? Well, there goes your ceiling, there goes your electrical, there goes all the insulation everywhere. This home is not going to get any better. These people are in a financial hardship. and it's only going to get worse. Sometimes they can't access the equity in their home. Their credit is too shot, but there's equity in there. I would much rather access the equity in my home than let my home be destroyed and then sold for way less. So guys, if you focus half the effort that you focus on traditional real estate, but you focus on Belwood type of real estate, and keep in mind, mold is gold, okay? The worse, the better for Belwood. There's a lot of them out there. And if you gave that half the time that you give to traditional real estate, you will make a minimum of 6 figures. The agents in our office make 6 figures here. That is an easy mark to hit. We have agents in Hollywood that are representing us on multiple $1-million transactions, $4, $5, $6, $7 million. Look at the transaction on that. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in commission on one check. What people around here are working 10 transactions to make $140,000 can be done with one home with Belwood Investments. Now, guys, you tell me, do you want to work twice as hard for one check, or do you want to work smart for 2? The answer is pretty clear. And we provide you all of the resources for you to execute at a high level of efficiency with Belwood. You want to implement systems, you want to get some assistance to help you look, you want to get some VAs overseas to help you look for homes, by all means, I want you to download the Belwood Agent app, okay? It's in all the stores. Belwood Agent app. Now, we have an investor app too, but I'm not talking to investors right now. I'm talking to agents. Download the Belwood Investor app. That's the Belwood Agent app. The Belwood Agent app, okay? Now, if you're interested in investing, we'll have a lunch and learn later on the 2nd. I believe it's a Monday. We'll be happy to chat about investing, but this is for the agents. This is where we get the inventory for the investors. We get it from agents, okay? And you can be an investor and an agent. So the days of, hey, Bo, I really got a good opportunity for you. I'd like to represent Belwood as your buyer's agent, and I'd really like to represent you as a listing agent. And boy, there's a lot of meat on the bone on this one. You and your investors are going to do great. So yes, I've heard that many times before, and now I get to say, agents, you can also invest in that property. You can make all the commissions involved with it, and you can make half the profits of that property. So who do you want to work with as a client? Do you want to work with that one client who's going to give you one check, or do you want to work with a client that's going to give you checks for the rest of your career? Okay, we want you to retire with Belwood, not at our brokerage. We don't have a brokerage. Ownable is our sister company that we work alongside, but we want you to work where you feel comfortable. We're not looking for the beautiful home. We're looking for the ugly home. So let's just talk a little bit about numbers real quick, and then we'll dive back into some of the rewards that we're talking about with Belwood. So earlier today, we had gone over some quick numbers. Now, Belwood right now, our average purchase price is over $1 million. Okay. Now, here in Sacramento, now I don't know where you're at, but here in Sacramento, $1 million is a lot of money, okay, for a home. I would say the majority of decent homes are somewhere in the $600,000 to $700,000 range, and that goes from Elk Grove all the way up to El Dorado Hills. El Dorado Hills is a little bit more, Granite Bay is a little bit more, but in general, I would say that's a pretty fair number, okay? Now, when you get to $1 million mark, well, for the Sacramento, El Dorado County, besides Tahoe and Placer, and some areas in Placer, $1 million is still a lot of money. Now, $1 million in Orange County is not a lot of money. There's not many single family homes you can buy in Orange County for $1 million, okay? But again, what I told you is you can be an agent here in Sacramento and do Orange County type deals. No problem. There's no rules that say you can't represent Belwood there. So we encourage you to look outside of your own backyard, right? Get familiar, become a professional in Beverly Hills, right? You could be living in Citrus Heights or Fair Oaks or Carmichael, where you're used to selling those types of real estate deals, and you can now start focusing in Beverly Hills and create a name and a brand for yourself in Beverly Hills and never have stepped foot there. Why? Because you have the buyer for those homes, right? Well, yeah, no, I've actually never been there, but I have a buyer who likes to buy these homes. And the more homes you find in Beverly Hills for Belwood, the more reputable your name comes. You don't think people are looking at what agent represented Belwood on that $7 million purchase. We're a target for tons of agents right now. They would love to work with Belwood, and they do. But it doesn't mean that they have to be in Beverly Hills. Again, you can be anywhere and represent us in a beautiful, high-end, swanky neighborhood like the flats of Beverly Hills. So with that being said, our average price is $1 million for Belwood. Now, in Sacramento, I would say it's less, but let's just use our average. We'll just use it out $1 million. Okay. Now we know with our average commission being 2.5% that this is going to net us about $25,000 with one commission. Okay. Now we get two commissions. When we sell a home, well, we know we have to put labor, material, there's closing costs, your commissions when we sell this home. We have to take into account your commissions as an agent when we resell this home, right? Now, we're keeping this home for ourselves, right? Which is where we lose some of our competitive traits, right? If somebody is buying a home and keeping it for themselves, well, they don't need to take into account profit and or resale costs, right? But we do. This is something that we have to take into account. So let's just say we're buying a house for $1 million. We're putting a couple $100,000 into it. Well, we know it's going to take about $60,000 or $70,000 to sell it. So we're adding on $270,000. We'll call it 300,000 just to be safe, and in debt or cost to this. But now we've improved the value, and let's just say we're selling it for 1.5 million. Okay, which is a fairly decent number, right? We're not making millions of dollars. This is a reasonable number. There's about $200,000 of profit. Belwood splits that with our investors. They get half, we get half, right? That's how that works. We'll talk about that later. So now you're making an extra 2.5%, or excuse me, you're making 2.5% on an extra $500,000. Okay. Now you're doing two commissions for every one transaction, essentially. This is just one home. You're getting two checks. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but $60,000 or $65,000 is a lot of money to make on one transaction. Okay. Now, even if you just did two transactions a year with Belwood, you're going to make six figures. Okay. As long as you sell that home again, right? If you can't sell the home and the home becomes a rental, well, when we refi it, we'll pay you 1%. Okay, so it's not 2% on the back end, or 2.5%. It does go down to 1% if you're not able to sell that home. Just to forewarn you guys. Now you do still get paid, but we want to encourage you to sell that home at market value, like we planned and all agreed on. But in the event that you can't sell it, I'm not going to just take it from you. I'm not going to just say you don't get any commission. I'm going to say you get 1% at least. Now,
morning, Mother dear.
Anybody else that does not, you're not able to sell their home, they're just going to pull that home from you, and you're not going to be able to sell it. We're never going to do that. We won't pull this home from you, but we will have to reduce the commission. Okay. Now, if you guys could mute your speakers while we're doing this, just so we can get through it, and then I'll answer some questions. Okay. So one transaction, $60,000. Now, let's just say you weren't able to sell it in the prescribed time. We needed to refinance it, cash out. You're still going to make $20,000, right? So it's, you're not making the full 40,000, but you're making 20,000. It's still a decent check for not being able to perform. So again, Belwood still gives money to agents that are able to. Would you guys please mute your speakers? Let me do that for you real quick. Background effects. There we go. Participants. And mute. Alrighty. All right, guys. So here we go. 2 million, or this one transaction is going to make us anywhere around $60,000 commission. Okay. Now, if you do 2 transactions, you're going to make 120 with Belwood. Okay. This is just our average numbers. This isn't hocus pocus. This isn't smoke in the mirrors. This is just our average numbers. Okay. Take it for what you will. Okay. So you're going to do 2 transactions and make 120. Okay. Now, do we expect agents to do more than 2 transactions? Well, yeah. Our agents here have to do at least 1 per month, really, because we offer offices and all these types of perks, you know. But at the end of the day, we want 1 deal per month. So if you're going to do 1 deal per month at $60,000 average per transaction, well, I mean, guys, that's $720,000 in 1 year. And you can make that here in Sacramento with Belwood. Our agent down in Santa Barbara makes this in about 3 checks. Makes that. See that? 720 grand. Okay. Now Faraday is she's a unique agent. She's got a lot of a great reputation down there in Santa Barbara, and she's actually an agent now with Ownable. But tremendous relationships, guys. She's actually representing us on some offers in Beverly Hills, and she's in Santa Barbara. So she is a testament to basically anybody who's been, thinking, oh, can I do it over there? Can I find homes? You can do this anywhere. You can do this from your couch, right? That's the unique thing about Belwood. So with that being said, guys, I'd like to invite you to download the Belwood Agent app, continue to submit homes, answer those questions. We are doing a V2 of our app that's going to combine both the investor and the agent app. That's going to be out here pretty soon. So with that being said, I'd like to open this up for questions. And if you don't have any questions, what you can do is email me at bo@thebigco.org. That's bo, B-O, at thebigco.org. All right, guys.
How does the competition work? What are the requirements for us to go on this trip?
So hi, Megan.
Hi.
So would you keep the kids down in the background? So give them a kiss for Dad. So how do you qualify for this? Well, it's very simple. All you need to do is submit homes and we buy them. Okay. You submit them through the Belwood agent app. We go into contract, we buy that home, and it's the agents that have the most closings for that month that get to join us in sunny Newport Beach and at the beautiful restaurant in the marina at Nobu.
And I think I saw something about airfare, and this was going through February and March.
Yes. And this is all inclusive, guys. You're not going to have to pay for anything. It's not like a timeshare where you're going to have to go sit and hear us pitch. We're going to pick you up from your home or your office. We're going to bring you to the airport. We're going to pick you up from the airport. We're going to drop you off through the clubhouse parking lot at Pelican Hill. You're going to see all the Lambos and the Rolls Royce and really get a feel of what it's like. Okay. You're going to get dropped off. We're going to go shoot 18 holes. And then after that, we're going to finish up with a nice meal at Nobu and then a nice car trip back to the airport. And we wish you adieu. So that is how you get to participate in this amazing offer for our agents, not only here at the Belwood office and with the Ownable brokerage, but with every single brokerage out there. Any other questions? I'm open up. So let's see. I tell you what, Megan, go ahead, just went ahead and put my email address in the chat. If you have any questions, guys, go ahead and send me a quick message. I'll reach out and we'll clarify anything that you may be wondering. And it's been an absolute honor speaking with you guys. God bless you and your families. And I hope to see you on the course. Talk to you soon. Oh, yes, Megan. Hey, she just posted. If you guys want some training on how to find houses, you can email Spencer, which is one of our senior account executives. And he can tell you exactly how we do this. We actually have a tutorial that we do online. So we do some online training. So you are prepared to go into battle with the right ammunition, right? We don't want you just to go into these scenarios and just say, well, I don't even know what we're doing here. We're going to give you everything you need to crush real estate with Belwood. So again, it's been an honor. Again, God bless you and your families. Reach out to me with any questions you may have. Take care.